I can't say who I was fighting, but I had a whole day of stunts on, what day is it today? Sunday. On Friday. And I was fighting all day and screaming my guts out like an idiot because I'm so, like, all the fighting stuff I've had to do before has either been like sword fighting on stage or kind of fighting where I'm not meant to be very good at it. Which in real life I'm really not. But I've started training for this when I got the job back in April. So I've been learning how to look like I can fight. And I did my first proper day of fighting the other day, and I felt like a kid at Christmas. When I went to see Temple of Doom at the cinema, they tried to escort me out of the movie theatre. I was like, I don't know, it must have been like 10, because I was at the front just punching along to every move. And that's kind of how I felt at work the other day. It was like, yeah, this is cool. This is cool, I can do this.
With Rip being from the future, how much can he actually help the team without messing up timelines or like...
It's a big problem for him. And he's got people who necessarily don't do what they're told to do and don't quite see the responsibility of not changing the timeline. So it becomes very complicated very quickly. And I love that about any time travel is explored. The fact that you can change something in the past, then go to the future and see how it's affected it. It's a very delicate, very, very delicate thing. And he's trying to achieve a specific thing. He's trying to destroy Savage for one reason or another. But a lot of other things get brought into the mix very quickly with their actions. So, it's not just Savage that they're battling. It's kind of time itself that they're battling.
What can you say about the dynamic of Rip and the rest of the team? Because it seems like, obviously, at first, even in a team of pretty much strangers, he's the outsider. He's the guy to bring them together. He's the guy from the future. But how does he kind of integrate himself, I guess, more with the rest of the crew, or does he not?
Well, he he wants them. He needs them all to join him to achieve a certain goal. He doesn't really expect to get on with them or like them. I think he has respect for them because he's picked them all for a reason, and he knows what they're all capable of. I think he'd like to keep it quite formal as a relationship, and I don't think he likes it when people's lives come into the mix. He's not really interested. But undoubtedly that has to come into it because they've chosen to go with it. So it's an interesting dynamic.
Presumably you did some stuff for Arrow or and/or Flash on the show.
No.
You haven't done anything
No.
else? You just go right into the show. Oh, okay. So Brandon obviously has been in this universe already. What was it like working with somebody like that who already has that kind of thing?
It's great. It's such a big thing coming into a show like this. I for research, watched all of Arrow and all of Flash as well. And I think it's such a great universe that they've created. And it's great having people like Brandon who know how it works. And I think his tone is so perfect for it as well. Like, he really gets that balance between the serious stuff and the lighter stuff. And yeah, he's been a really good friend to have, actually.
Can you tease what eras you guys explore through Prime Drama?
No.
Phil Klemmer keeps telling us about this.
What has Phil said?
Sorry.
No, what's Phil said?
About this spaceship that you guys...
As Phil said about the spaceship.
He's just said it's a spaceship. It's not a phone box, though.
Technically, it's not a phone box. It's like... I got to phone my parents and go, oh, hey, yeah, I got to see my spaceship today. Like, that's a cool moment. It's amazing. It's like the best set I've ever been on.
Wow.
It's got all these different rooms, and it's huge. It's a huge... Yeah. I mean, it's obviously going to draw comparisons with all the kind of, I hope anyway, with all the great spaceships of sci-fi, you know, like the Enterprise or the Millennium Falcon. It's got that kind of epic scale, which is so exciting to be part of, and we get to ride around in it. I've got a really cool chair in it. I'm really happy about my chair.
It seems to be very different from Arrow and Flash. It seems like it's a very completely different show.
It's a completely different show, but what's nice is it's expanding the world, and you know you can go to the history of that world as well, which is quite fascinating. And there's a lot of crossover. Which is, I don't know how they keep it all in their heads and how they keep it all making sense, but they've done it, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant.
So what's your favorite part about your character?
I like how frustrated he gets. He's a kind of, he's not there to make any friends. You know what I mean? I've played a lot of nice people, and he's not that nice. He's good. I think he's got good morals. You know, he is, but he can be quite aggressive at times, and I'm kind of enjoying that and how his frustrations come out. It's a great acting challenge, and the fact he can travel through time and kick ass. So
is there any sort of surprise relationship that he starts to like actually become friends with any of the team, or does he?
I think he does become friends with. I think it changes throughout the season. We're only on episode 3 filming at the moment, so I'm fascinated to see how that changes. I'm not quite sure. Yeah, but there are a few people who he feels closer to. A few people he'd rather not spend time with.
You made a Star Trek reference earlier. I mean, do you consider your character being kind of the Captain Kirk or Picard of a bunch?
He's definitely the captain.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like that's, or at least sets himself up as that. Do you know? Like he has that status himself. Which is a great. You know, I love it. I get to walk around and boss people around. It's cool.
Any chance of a crossover musical episode?
Always on every job I do. Hopefully, we'll get.
You have like incredible voices and play instruments, and some of you are from Broadway. And all
Yeah.
that stuff. And you and Carlos.
I know. Maybe we're just going to start like a Vancouver supergroup and play some games.